Hey everybody, Jochen Heiden here, and I'm back with the 15 January 1942 combat replay and analysis. So I've asked Lodrik to stop giving me sneak peeks and hints about what happened in the turn because it was making me neurotic, especially if I couldn't watch it right away. So going into this, you know exactly what I know about what's about to happen. I do know we have that paratrooper thing at Henyang to deal with, and maybe a little bit of convoy action at Rangoon. So let's take a look and see what happened. Man, here's the music again. Not quite sure why this is playing, so I'm gonna turn that down as best I can here because I really don't want to hear it. All right, so we just took Taiping in Malaya, which is only gonna help delay him getting up north. Oh, come on, come on, come on, come on. Oh! We got Mark 14, guys. We had a hit with no explosion. That's so frustrating. Man, that's frustrating. Just like this music playing during the combat replay. What a bummer, man. I know we're only in January 1942, but still. Uh-oh. That ship in at Rangoon isn't doing too good. That's the one he hit last turn with the bombers. Okay, you see that? We got some AKs heading into Rabaul now. Looks like. Okay, looks like the Trout's getting depth charged by a patrol boat. Well, looks like we survived that one. Okay, and it's the AKL uh the usual one that we've been seeing like every few days. One of these days, Trout will connect. Oh yes, yes, finally, yes. Okay, so our Dutch sub got some hits off here. We took out like this is a cruiser mine layer. Okay, so let's listen carefully. I don't know if it will sink. It probably won't, but let's listen. It did. We got one. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Did you see what's there at Port Blair? That's not good. I think he's about to bombard Port Blair. Right? Usual sweeps. I'm gonna try to get through this awful air war in China as fast as I can today. Aha. Uh-huh. Look at that. He's going all in at Henyang, guys. Dude, he wants Henyang bad. All right, so he's trying to stop us from crossing the river here. Won't work. Wow, look at the size of this. He's going to try to soften it up good. And oh, guys, this is bad for us. Yeah, he's sending everything he's got there. It's not looking good at Henyang right now, guys. These raids are down here trying to slow us down. Man, look at the amount of air power he's sending in here. That's going to severely degrade that unit there. And he's got fighters flying cap there now, so we know we can't get in there. I thought I had called this off, but apparently I didn't. So we just wasted those guys. Man, this is not going to be a good turn for us. He's probably going to take Henyang now. I'm almost certain of it. Up. And that's a sink. Yeah, those bombing raids in Henyang have completely are going to just make that unit ineffective when he attacks again. Yeah, dang it. Okay, so they weren't Congos, they were Issei class. So this is probably the Issei and the Hyuga. So they're gonna turn Port Blair into mush. Let's see what happens here. Wow, wow! Look at the size of. Okay, wow. So it looks like my naval scouting was very poor, because there was not one light cruiser and two battleships. That was two battleships, three heavy cruisers, and a bunch of destroyers. Man, and they turned that place into mush. Fortunately, none of the aircraft appeared to have been on the ground at the time, but we're gonna have to evacuate those out of there. Oh, hey, hey, we got one, guys. Okay, so the Argonaut, which does not have Mark, I believe it has Mark 10 torpedoes. Looks like we got a torpedo into the Chona Maru, a patrol boat. Let's listen for the sound. I hear sound, so we sank that one too. Oh no, Guam! Oh no. Oh no. Well, imagine the timing. Like, how did he know? We had some operations going on at Guam. It's like he knew. Dang it. This is really bad. Now he decides to attack Guam. Of all times. It's crazy. Dang. I had some stuff going on at Guam. I would be surprised if this held after those bombardments that they took. Well, shockingly we did hold. We take more casualties than they do though. So one more turn and I think he's gonna have us here. Japanese shock attack at Henyang. Yeah. Shoot. He's gonna get it, guys. Dang it. So it looks like he did get, well, more or less the same amount of troops in it. He's got the same troops in there, but the problem is that, um, okay, no, he did reinforce it. He did reinforce it. The problem here is that he bombed us to oblivion, so we had our troops were completely shattered from this. So we're in trouble now. Oh man, this is a bad turn. This is really bad. Dang it. I don't know how we're going to be able to take that back anytime soon. It's going to be incredibly difficult to recapture that, because he's just going to bomb everything in that hex every turn until it's just nothing left of it. Man, that was a good move. He put me in check. You know, if this was a chess game, we'd be in check right now in China. Got some reinforcements coming in on the map. Okay, well, I have no idea why this music is playing, but anyway, I'll fix that and we'll look at the intel. It's not going to be good. Okay, we're back. Let's look at the intel, and then I will analyze this cluster that we're in. Starting with the aircraft losses, 4-2 in his favor today. We lost 3 DB-3s on a ill-fated attack on Henyang. I thought I had called them off, but apparently I didn't. So they died. We also lost a Seagull. I don't know exactly what. It may have just been on a patrol, random thing. He lost a Topsy and an Oscar, which is very little compared to how massive his raids were. Top pilots, 2 KIA, 1 wounded. I couldn't tell you who's who. Probably Chinese pilots here, though. So, Army losses continue to mount, and we do basically nothing to him. And I'll show you where the Army losses occurred. Ship sunk. However, interesting revelation here. Take a look at this. Ship sunk last turn. We sank allegedly 3 of his ships. I only know of 2. The Choamaru we took out near Rabaul with a Mark 10 torpedo, which are the ones that don't have issues exploding. And the Argonaut, nice shot. And then the Siam Katsuriki, which was in Singapore, just chilling like a villain. One of our Dutch subs snuck in there, put a torpedo into it, and left. So that's pretty awesome that we were able to get that killed. And this Choamaru is one of the better patrol boats he has. It's the one that's got the ASW rating of 3 as opposed to a lot of the other ones that he has, which are 1 or 2. So I'm always happy to see one of these things get taken out. Is it going to win the war? Absolutely not. He's got hundreds of these. But it's a moral victory for my guys. Now, this is interesting. The I-166 said it was lost near Phuket, which is in Thailand. So I don't recall us engaging this thing recently at all. So let's take a look at where Phuket is at, which should be somewhere around here, right? Now I'm having trouble finding it. Let's find Phuket. So we'll list all bases. PH. Phuket. Okay, so it's saying that the sub was lost here, but I don't recall us having a submarine engagement in a couple weeks now that we did any damage to a sub. So I'll be very interested to see what that is. Now, was it the sub that we engaged up here a few weeks ago and it finally sank here? Possibly. I'm not entirely sure. So we'll continue watching the ops reports and everything else to see if this is confirmed or not. I don't know. And then, of course, we lost the Hupe. This was the ship that he had attacked a couple days ago just south of Rangoon. It finally sank, so we probably lost the supplies on there. And the ship went down. But, you know, this is a loss I can absorb. That being said, we did get the supply convoy into Rangoon, and it is basically safe now. It's under a fighter cover umbrella and a minefield, so he ain't coming in here to get it. He's not that dumb to do that. So we're getting another 26,000 supplies into Rangoon, which we can also shuttle into China, which we're going to need them with what just happened here. Okay, let's see if there's anything else in the report here. Yeah, this is bizarre. So let's go all dates for Japanese ships by type. See if anything here strikes our fancy. Well, it's saying that we sunk it with right here, Phuket. Boy, that's a strange one. We're getting a nice little tally, though. You know, I'm kind of liking what I'm seeing here. A couple light cruisers, some destroyers, some patrol boats, some subs, DMSs. You know, I'm happy with this. All right. Let's look at the SIGINT, see if there's anything noteworthy here. Let's look at this. You know, I'm curious when we get radio transmissions at a hex. 84. Let's look at this. 8442. Let's see if we can find something there. Hex 8442. Okay, well that's here. I'm wondering if that's signaling an impending attack or something. Yeah, interesting. I don't really know what that means, but nothing really else. Let's look at 126.79. Let's see if we can find something there. 126.79. 126. Oh, what is that supposed to mean? So that means that 126.79, there must be some sort of task force moving here. It could be a sub, it could be anything. We'll keep an eye on that, because if you look here, if you draw a line Where is that going? Right to Wake Island. I wonder if this is the Wake Island invasion we've been waiting for. Interesting, right? And he's just within the range that we should be able to start picking him up. So let's keep an eye on this. Within a turn, we may see something coming towards Wake Island. Because we did spot this, which just appears to be a patrol boat. Now, I think we can look at the combat report. So, excuse me. It does not appear he swept any mines, which is good. Let's look at the ops report. Nothing really noteworthy here that I can see. But we can take a look at reinforcements that we got on the map this last turn. So we got this is an actual CB unit, appears, at Eastern USA. We're going to get that out to the Pacific ASAP. We also got a combat engineer battalion at San Luis Obispo, which is one of my favorite places to hang out in California, by the way. Excuse me. We will get this. We will get this out to sea. We also got an AP at Mare Island, which we desperately need. And the rest of the stuff is just things that I'm transferring around. GVT-18 might be something cool to look at, though. We'll watch that, see what that is. I don't know. All right. Let's analyze. So the big story here is in China. So Lodrik got more troops in here by parachute, and he also used every bomber he possibly could to neutralize our unit at Henyang, which he did. So we are in serious trouble now. Now, while our supply lines are not completely cut, they're definitely Pinsiang is going to have some issues here, because I can't get supply in there because he's blocking us here and here, right? So we do have a supply lane here, but it's blocked here and it's blocked here. So Pinsiang is now at risk. So we need to dislodge this unit as soon as possible, but it's going to take me at least a week to get enough troops in there to have a fighting chance of doing so. So we also are now threatened by this death stack here at Changsha. While I don't think he has enough troops there to really pin us down, well, let me take it back. He doesn't have enough troops to take it, but he has enough to pin us down here. So it's going to be very difficult to get Henyang broken free, but we will do our best. This unit is now fully across the river, so I'm going to be moving it this way to try to block in this unit and surround it. And if we can do that, we may be able to kill it. If he was smart, though, he'd come back here and block this hex. Okay? We're still maneuvering for a fight down here, and I'm really hoping we can dislodge this unit so we can surround this one. If we neutralize this southern flank here, we're going to be okay. Because then I can free up these forces here and head back towards Henyang and reinforce there. So a lot's going to hinge on what happens in this hex in the next 2 turns. We must win here, and if we win here, we have a clear path to stabilize the line. Hey, my laundry's done. All right, so that's what's going on in China. Nothing really happening up here right now, which is fine with me. All right. So in Burma, it's been relatively quiet. We got supplies into Rangoon, which are much needed. Over at Port Blair, though, this task force, which initially looked like a couple of Congos, ended up being 2 Issei's and a bunch of cruisers, and they shot up Port Blair. But they didn't do a whole lot of damage, which is good for us. Right. Well, it's a medium amount of damage, but it's not going to impact our scouting efforts because the aircraft are still fully intact. Right. So this was relatively ineffective, and now I'm going to do my best to make him pay for that this next turn. I was attempting to get a minesweeping mission into Sabang, but with this unit here and another one coming out right here, I don't feel comfortable getting in here and out here safely. So I am calling the Abdeel back. I'm sending it back to Colombo, and we're just going to abort that mission because it's just too much going on down here. I thought I could squeeze it in between task forces, but he's got another one coming out. So I'm not playing any games with that. I'm not wasting a ship. So we're getting out of Sabang full speed, and we're just going to abort that mission. So we did take Taiping last turn, which is awesome. I don't know how long we're going to be able to hold it, but, you know, it's disruptive if nothing else. So He looks like he's trying to fan out as well to keep us from blocking the rail lines, but it's just a little too late for him. So we're going to continue redistributing up and down these rail lines to block them. And it's just going to slow him down getting troops out of here. One thing of note here, we no longer see a lot of troops here, so I'm wondering if he moved them elsewhere, or we have bad recon. Also in Singapore, you'll note that we have his CVE task force, which was over here, has made it all the way into Singapore now, and it's going to rearm, and who knows where it's going to go from here. I have no idea. So we'll keep an eye on that. It could go any direction. It could go north, south. It could be positioning for supporting an attack on Palembang or something else. I don't know. We held at Singkawang, shockingly. I don't know how. We did repulse another attack here, so despite his best efforts to bombard us, we have held. How long we can hold, I give it another turn or two if he continues to attack and bombard, but it's cool that we held a little bit longer. Things are just eerily quiet here in the Dutch East Indies. Nothing going on here. He did land here at Talad, which isn't a base that's overly important to me anyway. He can have it. I had nothing there to defend it anyway. Looking at Guam. Now, Guam is an issue. So I've been very quiet about this. In my Discord, I spoke about it, but on YouTube, I haven't. I had 8 stranded B-17s here at Guam. I used Guam as a midway point to shuttle aircraft from Hawaii to China. And a lot of them broke down here, and I ran out of supply. So I had a top secret mission in which I sent this ship all the way from Darwin all the way through here. We snuck right by Lodrik, and we dropped enough supplies in here for us to fix a number of the B-17s. However, he just landed troops here while I had 4 or 5 that were still under repair. So what I did was I just disbanded them now. And I'm going to lose some, but not all. But if he takes this base, I will lose all of them. So Guam should fall this next turn. I'm sure I'm sure this base force is not going to have enough AV to withstand this attack. But, you know, I did my best to rescue the B-17s, but it's not going to work. So I'm going to get this supply ship out of here, and I'm going to send it to ADAC, because I do have some supplies left, and I could use it up here. So I'm going to attempt to get it out. I don't know if those APDs are going to come back next turn and try to take it out or not, but we will try to rescue this thing. And we're not going back the way we came, because he's going to know that we're in the area. I tried, guys. So Guam has at least enough supplies to put up a good defense. But this is probably a Naval Guard unit, and it won't hold up to that. So we tried. But, you know, now you know what happened at Guam. Elsewhere in Perth, we continue to get supply convoys moving in. He's not out here, so we're going to sneak him in. We got tons of fuel and supply, which can be used all through Australia. Other than that, it's been pretty quiet here in Australia. We did sink a ship here, the Argonaut, with its Mark 10 torpedoes. We took out a patrol boat, which is awesome. We'll see what we can do with that in the coming turns. Otherwise, relatively quiet. His ships seem to have gotten where they need to go for the time being. We're continuing to build up Luganville. Things are coming along nicely there. Noumea is doing very, very well. We're working on the airfield now. We're also building up the fort. We got so many supplies and things that it's not even funny. We're in zero risk of Noumea falling anytime soon. And we got more troops on the way as well. So the P-39s that I brought over from the United States are fully unloaded now, and we got them training. So right now the engineers are in the process of putting the planes back together because they were loaded on ships, probably had the wings off, tail taken apart, all that stuff. So we're rebuilding them now, and we're going to start training these pilots up. So some of them aren't so great, but we'll fix that really quick here. They haven't had a chance to train over this last month because they've been on a boat the whole time. We got more planes coming in. We got more troops coming in. We got all kinds of stuff coming in Australia. And with the exception of that one issue over here with our tanker, Lodrik does not have a good fix on our supply chain. So I think what I'm doing is working. We made adjustments to take into consideration he's drawn a straight line out of LA southwest. We're going around that now, and I think it's gonna be a guessing game for him to figure out where we're going, because every convoy that's coming out of LA now is going a different way, and I think he's gonna have a hard time chasing that. Really, I think that's about it for this turn. So the big issue here is we're gonna lose Guam next turn, which honestly, he made a mistake letting us keep it for as long as we did, because we did move 50 some odd B-17s through here before he got wise to any of it. We need to figure out what he's going to do here. We need to win here, and we need to figure out how to dislodge him here. So we have a lot of work to do in China, but I think within 2 weeks we can have the situation stabilized if things go our way. So wish us luck on that, because we're going to need it. Thanks for watching.